Hey everyone, so let's continue our journey of Nestjs. So हमने last videos में हमने we have already seen कि how to access request parameter, query parameter, path parameter, body, headers. So let's apply all those learnings in the real example. तो हम simple actually एक REST APIs बनाते हैं with the resource user and we will apply all these things. Okay, this API v1 users get post API v1 users, there will be path parameter ID API v1 users, and there will be path parameter ID for delete, patch and delete. You can just define these set of APIs. So now what we are going to do, we are going to just create a controller and we will define all these methods. Simply controller module, and we are going to just see how we can have all these different methods defined inside a controller. So very simple controller, a controller will point to a particular route and there you are going to define these methods. Our resource is user and these are different HTTP methods defined by controller methods. Okay, so let's come back to our example. Here we have controller users and we already have Swagger. So what I did is I already enabled Swagger in all the examples because क्या करते हैं हम, why I have added a Swagger, because you wanted to run the application on Swagger and test the APIs. For that I have copied the same Swagger folder in all my examples. So when you do npm run start, you can go to localhost docs and you will see the Swagger API documentation. So here we are just talking about some demo examples. You can create any kind of folder structure which we have discussed, like inside domains you can create a user domain, define user controller, user service, user providers, user DTO. Then inside, similarly, currently we are just talking about a one domain user, right? So you can just use app controller, or if you want to do it the right way, just use the proper folder structure, like inside domain create a users, user controller, DTO, user service, user module. Then inside domain you can create a account module, account DTO, account a controller, account service, like this. So here we are just using user controller, and inside main.ts these are the APIs like get, put, post, delete, patch. This is all APIs are on the user resource. Okay, so let's see this is our controller user, app controller. Okay, and here we are using this body. What this body DTO is doing. So here inside @body create user DTO, and you can see we have initialized users array with empty array, and there are just couple of methods like create user, get all users, get user by ID, update user by ID, delete user. Basic CRUD operations with just a mock database. So user is empty array and we are playing with empty array, so you can call this users as a empty database, mock database. So we are using class validator and class transformer. What we will do, we'll go to our DTO. So we require validations here. Why? Because you are creating a user, so you need to make sure that name is of type string. Whatever the properties we have defined for the user, that should be provided with the required format, like name should be a string, age should be number, ID should be number. How do you validate? You can enforce those constraints using class validator, like first of all API property, and then what is like is should be is string, is number, is boolean, is UUID. All these decorators are available from the class validator to enforce the constraint on each and every property you are passing inside a request body, that they will not be using any random format. They will be following a proper guideline. Okay, so ID is of type number, string, and here we are just specifying the properties names and the required validations. So now when you try to create a user, yes, it is accepting everything, all the data validation is being passed, and here you can see I'm also getting it data. So it just, we are just playing with the mock user object. Okay, you insert while create, and then while fetching just get all the data from there. You can also do the min max validations here, like in the class validator we can provide all these different type of validations. And here @ID, what it is doing is, you already know how to access the path parameter, query parameter, request body, headers. Here I just have only one path parameter, so what I'm doing is param ID of type number. I mean, I till now ideally I will say is I always prefer to create DTO where you can also do validations and all those things. Here also you can just enforce that this type should be number is being passed. Okay, so for either request body, query parameter, path parameter, you can just use the DTO and define all the validations you wanted to enforce in your properties. DTO is nothing but a simple class. So here you can see put ID. So here you can also specify the parsing pipe, parse boolean pipe. So here also parsing pipe. So if you are passing the ID of type string or something, I won't be accepting that. And here you can see when you are passing alphanumeric after users, that means that is not accepted. It is showing you not first of all invalid bad request. So what you need to do is we can also play with some different decorators which exposes your APIs on Swagger. Here you can see list response DTO. So what the DTO should contain: a name and age. This DTO you can define, and then this will be used inside this here.